What is up, mortals? It is Sunset here with a new video for you. Welcome to part 4 of What If Deku Had a Sentient Quirk? I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. So we begin. A juniper-haired boy ran forward, determination on his face and a spark in his eyes. He stopped at a tall gate that surrounded the school known as UA. Izuku panted as he stood there, still a little dumbfounded. Am I really gonna take the exam for UA? No, Izuku jumped as he heard a voice call out to him. Izuku knew exactly who it was as he turned around to see his best friend and rival, Katsuki Bakugo. Well, look who's finally early. Bakugo's tone was delighted, though a little shocked at the same time. He walked up to Izuku, the two looking at UA High School. Many students had been walking into the school as Izuku and Bakugo continued to the school. So, Usagi, were you able to give our trainer a good answer? The question rang through Izuku's head. He looked down as the boy stopped, confusing his ash-blonde friend. Exactly a week ago, Izuku had finished his final task for the day. This was the last day he and Bakugo would be training with Tsukauchi, and that meant it was time to give in his answer. Mr. Tsukauchi, I believe I have my answer, the young freckled boy said, as the older male looked quite intrigued to hear what the boy had to say. I know that thinking analytically is one of my strong suits, but also my biggest weakness. I learned that while thinking of a strategy was good, doing so... Izuku's explanation moreover lacked the answer Tsukauchi was looking for. The man had stopped him before he could go on. Izuku, you are a very talented individual, along with Katsuki, but the problem you face isn't just that you think instead of act, but there's something else. Izuku looked confused by his trainer's words, but Tsukauchi was completely serious about the topic. Izuku, the truth is that you and Bakugo didn't have to give me answers for this last test. I simply wanted you both to realize a weakness and learn how to use something against that weakness. You must do your best to figure this out on your own. Izuku sighed as he looked back at Bakugo. No, I mean, technically not. Izuku just shook his head as he started walking again. The thought only made the boy lose his train of thought as he tripped over his own shoe, slowly plummeting to the ground. Oh crap! I can't embarrass myself now! Izuku attempted to summon Rabbit Hole to catch himself. It took Izuku a second to realize that he wasn't falling to the ground anymore. In fact, he was floating above it. The young teen freaked out, only to hear giggling from behind him. Izuku felt hands place him back on the ground as a girl put her hand together. Izuku turned around to see a brown-haired girl smiling at him. I'm very sorry for using my quirk on you without asking. Her smile and aura made the boy's face go red as he stuttered a simple thank you to the female. The female bowed and then spoke. I hope to see you in school. She then stopped bowing as she walked towards the school building. Izuku sighed to himself as he heard snickering. Turning around was Bakugo, who had to hold in his laughter at the scene that had just unfolded. You're such a nerd! Izuku only rolled his eyes at the blonde's attempt to make fun of him. Inside the school was an auditorium. The two boys sat down as the explanation for the exam would begin. A blonde-haired man walked on the stage, Izuku recognizing the man. Oh my god! It's Present Mike! Why, hello there, guys and gals! It's your DJ Present Mike here, ready to give you all the details on this year's practical exam! A giant projector then showed images of robots. Present Mike explained that the 3 robots on the screen would act as villain points for the exam. Destroying a robot would give a student a point. This test is going to take place in a modeled city. Everyone will be placed into different sections of the test based on schools you've gone to. Izuku began to mutter to himself, while others ignored it. It caught the attention of multiple people, including a blue-haired boy. This boy would stand up while raising his hand. Excuse me, sir, but on the pamphlet we all have it says 4 robots, not 3. I don't mean to be rude, but for Japan's highest esteemed school, this would be a rookie mistake. Though the blue-haired boy's tone could be seen as rude to some, Present Mike simply smiled, glad to give the young boy an answer. Thanks for the question, and so I shall give the answer. The fourth and final robot is the 0 pointer. It's a robot that gives no points at all. It's best for all of you to just avoid it. The young boy thanked Present Mike, but before taking a seat, he pointed in the direction of Midoriya. And you! The sudden sound stopped Midoriya from muttering as he looked at the boy, a feeling of embarrassment already filling him up. Can you please stop muttering? We're all trying to focus. With a small apology from Midoriya, the blue-haired boy took his seat. Bakugo simply rolled his eyes as Present Mike's speech continued, until it was time for them to take the written portion of the entrance exam. After the written exam, Midoriya stood among a crowd of students. Each one seemed to try to focus on the task at hand. Midoriya instantly summoned Rabbit Hole. Some of the people were a little shocked to see a humanoid rabbit appear out of nowhere. Almost every student would be caught off guard by Present Mike's voice, the sudden shout making them look towards him. Come on! There's no start in real life! You gotta go, go, go! The gates had already opened, and many people had ran forward, not wanting to waste any more time. A shadow appeared on the ground, blocking out the sun for a few students. Izuku was using a technique he had learned over break. He rode on top of Rabbit Hole, gaining a huge lead from the main group. Izuku! Target up ahead! Rabbit Hole had started to descend towards the ground, landing a few feet away from a one-pointer. Izuku got off of Rabbit Hole as he hatched a plan. This video was sponsored by Grubhub. With more than 3,000 store locations, Grubhub offers on-demand convenience delivery across the country. You can search for restaurants by cuisine or location. Quickly order food from the menu and track your order from the app, all hassle-free and without any extra charges. Grubhub charges less than other food delivery services, allowing you to get the best value for your money. With Grubhub Plus, you can get free delivery prices for 10 meals every month on orders of $12 or more for only $9.99 a month. That's not all. You can use the code AFF25 to save 25% off your first mobile order of $15 or more. This code is for a limited time, so again, get $25 off your first mobile order of $15 or more now if you use the code AFF25. Check the link in the description. Thank you again to Grubhub for sponsoring this video. Izuku ran forward towards the robot. Its eyes flashed red as it rode its way towards Izuku. Taking the chance, Izuku jumped up into the air, avoiding a hit from the robot landing on the robot's long neck and jumping once more. Now! The robot slowed down to go after Izuku once again, but a shadow loomed over it, and Rabbit Hole slammed its foot down on the robot's neck, snapping it in two, effectively destroying it. Another robot zoomed from around the corner. The robot was a 3-pointer. The robot threw a punch at Izuku. Izuku, in return, jumped away from the robot, avoiding the punch as Rabbit Hole darted towards it with a great speed. The robot was kicked in the face. Its head had been forced inside its body as the robot flew back, hitting the road a few times before slamming into a streetlight. Alright, looks like this plan can work! Izuku and Rabbit Hole continued their plan. Izuku got on Rabbit Hole's back, and they searched for more robots as the test continued. 15 minutes had passed, and Izuku was able to rack up many points in that time, destroying 10 1-pointers, 5 2-pointers, and 2 3-pointers, claiming a score of 26 points so far. Rabbit Hole landed on a building as Izuku surveyed their surroundings. Screams of terror could be heard as Izuku looked down. A student ran away from a 3-pointer. It seemed like the student was injured. Rabbit Hole had jumped from the building, slamming its legs down onto the robot's missile launcher, the metal bending in before busting open. Are you alright? Izuku asked as he jumped off of Rabbit Hole, the rabbit, in return, turning into a ball of green light and going into Izuku's chest. The student simply nodded his head as Izuku gave the boy a thumbs up with a smile. The juniper-haired boy ran forward, summoning the Rabbit Hole once again a few feet in front of himself, jumping on its back as the two launched away, looking for more robots and people they could help along the way. Over half the test had passed by, and Izuku was able to get up to 49 points. Almost every robot had been destroyed. Izuku had since saved 4 people, and helped 10 others in defeating the robots. Geez, I haven't been keeping track of how many points we got. Izuku sighed as he and Rabbit Hole sat on another building, watching the few robots put in the open getting destroyed. Izuku sighed while Rabbit Hole looked around. Izuku, 3-pointer spotted! Izuku looked around, quickly seeing the 3-point robot that seemed to be driving towards the street they were right above. Rabbit Hole formed into a ball, fading into Izuku's chest as he jumped off the building. I thought of a new move to try now! Izuku focused as much energy as he could into his chest. This was all to force the ball form of Rabbit Hole, as the robot inched closer and closer. Go! The ball shot out of Izuku's chest like a dart. Rabbit Hole forming as he slammed into the robot. Its body split in half as Rabbit Hole slammed into the ground, creating a small crater on the road. Izuku continued to fall until he landed on Rabbit Hole's back. Izuku, that was incredibly irresponsible! What if you were hurt? Though Rabbit Hole was very excited to try new things, he didn't like it when Izuku randomly did things on the spot. I know, but now we have something new to add to our arsenal. Izuku smiled while Rabbit Hole just shook its head, while the ground began to shake. What is... Izuku looked up to witness something completely horrific, a giant robot larger than the buildings that surrounded them. Fear and shock filled his mind as he noticed the huge 0 painted on its shoulders. That's the 0-pointer? Izuku was incredibly shocked, and he then saw people running away from the robot. It's what he wanted to do, but then he heard the sound of someone asking for help. Rabbit Hole, go! Izuku looked panicked. The female trapped under the rubble looked familiar to him, and so Rabbit Hole wasted no time, darting towards the rubble as the robot stepped closer. Rabbit Hole stopped at the rubble that covered the girl's legs. Izuku jumped off as he started to move the rubble, Rabbit Hole licking away the larger pieces into a random building. They finally had most of the rubble off her legs. Hurry up, folks! You only got 3 minutes left! Present Mike alerted Izuku that the test was almost up. Rabbit Hole quickly picked up the brunette, while Izuku got on his back. Rabbit Hole darted away from the robot. They made it safely away without any major injuries. The juniper-haired boy got off of Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole, in return, turned into a sphere, fading into Izuku's chest as the juniper-haired boy looked at the girl. You okay? The girl simply nodded, informing the boy that she simply sprained her ankle. Izuku sat the female down. An alarm went off as Present Mike's voice could be heard. Well, that's the end, folks! Then... Izuku fell to the ground, exhausted and overworked a little. The boy fainted as each participant was sent home either with a few patches or completely fine. Izuku woke up in a bed, a female sitting at a desk, working on some sort of document as she looked around. Oh, hello dear. You've finally woken up. Izuku, confused about the situation, asked who she was. Of course. I'm Recovery Girl. I work for the UA staff. I'm the main nurse at the school, and if you are admitted, I do hope I won't see you here too many times. Izuku got up, but his legs felt weak, and he could already tell why. Thank you for your help, Recovery Girl. Izuku quickly bowed and left the office, his overuse of Rabbit Hole making him feel sluggish and tired, though anxiety filled his mind as he left the gates of UA. You're late, Usagi. The voice came from behind Izuku, as Bakugo stood there, a little annoyed. Though he tried to explain himself, Bakugo just started to walk away. Izuku hurried after him. Would this be his beginning of a bright future of hope and heroes? Or would his journey be cut short? Time would only tell for the juniper-haired boy and his friend. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in all this information thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, I'd like to thank our patrons. BD Flames, Ethan Davis, Terry Chills, Shifter Meals, Adam Zagel, Zavbeto3, Zill, and Joshua Phelps. Secondly, I'd also like to thank all of our YouTube members. Toya Costa, Rob the King, Sith Lord 906, CF2364 and Knuckles, Rimue Tempest, Angel Juarez, Donald C. Stewart, Bryant Grier, and Rafiq 135. Thirdly, if you're in the mood for some great storytelling, We the Celestials has got you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested. Fourthly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Lastly, if you're interested in what we do here at We the Celestials, I'd like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat is that we only accept members from 16 years old to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fulfills your interest by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. We're always looking for members to join us. Well, that's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching and have a great day!